Right. This. Just turn the radio down. That is 2 meters I'm listening to, monitoring. This is a very old, what we used to call a televideo. It's a flaps. Excuse the lash up of a bench, basically using a chair, 'cause I've got to get a bench set up, and I'll do it eventually. I have to feel up to it and get enough cash. Anyway, a friend of mine asked me if I could rescue it, because never happened before, has it? The tape didn't come out. He started to pull it out and then stopped, realising that it stuck. So obviously it's a little ancient. This particular one I would reckon is from about 1990 something, maybe early 2000s, but I very much doubt it. It could be though. It's a Philips, and they were ploughing out all sorts of cheap stuff back then. Well, I said cheap, they weren't cheap, they were £100 and something usually, but to the latter end Philips did kind of dump all the stock on the market. And yes, you can tell I've done this before, can't you, because I have got the appropriate device. In fact, that's a short one. And somewhere in this tool bag I've been carting about for longer than I care to imagine, is that, which was made for Apple, forgotten what they're called now, the Mac I think. That was a screwdriver from Radio Spares, which in fact you can see, just see the number, or well, no, I can't see the number. Not unless I get some goggles on, because my eyes are starting to fail. 52, oh, it's a TO52 5x200. It's a high voltage Paramo Ferranti or France, could be made in France. 9,000 volts. There you go, chrome vanadium. It was a very expensive screwdriver, flat blade for doing terminals, and we didn't have any at all at the company I worked at that fitted the Macs. There was a special one obviously with a groove in, and yeah, sidetracked, but this is interesting for me anyway. These screwdrivers were like unobtainium. They were so expensive. So I got this out of my toolbox when I got a Mac into repair, and I got my little multi-tool and cut a groove in it, and then when a couple of the other engineers saw it, they had me get them, or rather do them, got them to send me the screwdrivers, and I did the modification and sent them down to them. But in actual fact, if I recall, the reason I used this one was because it had been damaged. I was given it because somebody had blown it up. They'd basically stuffed it across a terminal and yeah, the short, see where it shorted there and what have you. So they damaged the end, so I repurposed it. They were an expensive screwdriver, like £30 odd back in 1980 something. So, digression over. I have several rather long screwdrivers knocking about. These are just a few that I've found out of my toolkits when I packed it all up. Oh goodness me, we've got a, yeah, it is a later one. It's got a Torx in there. I don't know whether you're seeing all this. There's a Torx in that bit. Like I say, it's a lash up. The camera's on a tripod above the chair, and I just thought I'd do a little video of demolishing this Philips. And he said, can I give it a bit of a clean? Well, yeah, I'll do that. it's not in bad condition, and it's not really dirty. It's a bit dusty, but all this back will come off. That hole there, the plug should go straight through it. I'm going to have to undo that, which I almost forgot. Another rifle up for a Torx. I think it's a T10, and I think I've picked up the larger Torx. I may need, oh yeah, bought this one. I needed a large one for the car once, and it's one of them's missing actually. It's come in handy for all sorts of other things since. Yeah, it is a T10. I've lost my T20. Oh, I haven't. Oh, look at that. I haven't got any missing. Just a few brain cells missing. If this getting dazzled by my shiny bonds, please excuse it. I don't know whether it's in shot or not. Got lots of holes in the back where screws would have gone, probably on a different model. Doesn't look like this particular one used them. In fact, just let me wobble things about and see if this is still recording, because it's not been recording earlier. Oh yeah. Oh wow. And it looks like it's in frame. And I've just thrown a screw on before. There it is. Right, what I'm going to do with the screws, put them up there. Anyway, protect the screen, bit of bubble wrap. Used to have a piece of carpet on my bench, along with every other TV engineer. As you see, big hole. Yee, remembered it all. It's like yesterday. Do excuse me if I go on and start rambling about other things. Old age, you know. Now here's the interesting bit. You don't want to drop this on the tube neck or break the neck. There you go. I've known a few drop, just pull them out and that's dropped, and either smash the PCB or nice and solid, good. I haven't dared turn it on yet. Yeah, or actually break the neck of the tube, and then you get that gut wrenching as a tube suddenly draws breath, its final breath. The number of these that got smashed when I was a lad, I was 17, and we had to clear the oh god, what's it called, storeroom out. All the old 1960s and late 50s TVs that were no longer used. I think that was about 70 something, and they were in the loft of a 3-story building that we used, and some young wonder had the idea of just sliding them off the roof down into the backyard. It was amazing how many of these things bounced and didn't break. I was a bad boy. Look at that, that's dropped out. So the speaker luckily fell out, because I'd forgotten all about that. That could have been rather interesting. Designed to fall out really. Just fits in there like that. Some of them are actually fastened in, so if you're not careful you rip the speaker wires off. I wasn't careful and I was very lucky. So I'm currently scoring 100. Let's see how badly this goes, because I've got to get into that tin box there just to recover the cassette. And bear in mind, it is something like 30 years since I last poked my nose inside one of these beasties. We'll have that off. You've got to be careful with these boards as well, because the packs are in and those spade clips aren't moving, so I'm going to have to be extra careful. Right, screw there, that bit up, and then I can get the 4 screws, yes, 4 screws that hold the doodad on. Right, power switch. If I remember rightly, oh, I don't need to move, just undo the 2 screws. So like I say, excuse the frustration in my voice. I'm going to need my proper torque set, because there are another torque screwdrivers in there. Oh, I know what I'll do. I've just seen it. Sure. Oh, it's in the other bag. So, 2 minutes. Right, first things first, is it still recording? Is it still in shot? Yeah. Oh, right. Bit dark, but you'll have to put up with it. Come on, out you go. There's always one. Right. Locate my trusty handle, and they look like, yeah, they look like a T10 again. Always grumble about that not releasing these bits. But I'll tell you something, you grumble even more when you're playing 52 pickup with a dozen of them and it's on grass. Tools, that's what they're for, making life easier. Right, now in theory, he's already had this turned on, so obviously it's quite probably live. Not live. Got a rather. I do despair listening to people talking about capacitors being charged and deadly and killing yourself and all that. It has happened in the past, but the favourite pastime when we were younger was charging a capacitor up and throwing it at someone. That's what I got when I was in the workshop for the first time. So, right, discharging one of these when you can't find your discharging lead. Bit of wire. That's the earth strap there. So we're reasonably confident that that's earthed, because this is earthed. I ain't sticking the meter on it. And we use that, and we basically just lift up the. I use my fingers, but I would advise not. You lift up that and use something not sharp, because this is silicone rubber and you do not want to put any cracks in it. It's dead. So now you just grip, pull down, pull up. It's an open clip like that. So that's off, that's out. Earth, 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 earth. Oh, you evil Tyrapian. There you go. Tie wrapped on, earth off. And it's always a good idea to remember to put that back on. Should all be commoned out, but it doesn't always happen. You sometimes get some arcing when it builds up a rather large. That's gone weighty, look. God, I remember wincing every single time one of these came in for it there. So that there can come out, and that can get a wash. So that's going to get a thorough wash. Dig housing coil. Right, what else is still connected? Is that on a plug, or is it Phillips' famous it's not, it is a socket, because they were good at making things look like sockets, and they were actually soldered in, and you'd get no end of them with them ripped off. Right. Oh. Scan coils. Oh, incredible. That looks like it's soldered in, and basically socketed there, and I'm not even bothering with that. That can go out the way there. That's what I'm after. Now then, can we just lift this out? Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. If you're not doing them every day, you've got to try and be very careful. So speaker out of the way, and don't put any holes in it, because that'll be an arm and 3 legs these days. That came out of that, and put my box up on the arm of the chair. Are we still recording? Ooh! Right, here's where it gets lovely and interesting. I should be able to pull that out, lift that out of the way, and put it somewhere where it can go when it falls over. I'll put it face down, keeping the protection on it, because if it gets scratched, it's no longer a telly. It's a point of grief, especially when I'm doing this as a favour. I only said yes because I used to enjoy doing this. Used to. And I want to see if my brain still works. Well, what's left of it anyway. Yes, different screwdriver than earlier. And that's mainly because I haven't got a clue what I've just done with the other one. Another reason I like my bench, I had a place for them. Yeah, all over it while I was working. And you always have spares, because you don't want to be bending down picking stuff up while you're doing a job. So that's 3. Count 3. Still held there, number 4. Not bad really. A little bit of rusting on that plate. It's only a shield. That's the head shield. I would imagine that will be for doing the azimuth on the tape transport system. Oh, blob. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this screw back in there. Right, it'll become clear as mud once I undo this screw. I've obviously decided that the circuit board needs some extra support around the tuner because you're plugging it in. And, oh, you piece of, excuse me, inanimate poo. I'm waiting for my son to come down now and I say, who are you talking to? And a 5th one hiding at the back. Oh, there's a tape. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, look at that. It's broken. Has undue... Oh. Oh, I think someone's used undue force on this. The whole point of doing this and not just ripping it to bits was not damaging the tape. Slight fail. Oh, right. Get some specs and have a look, because it's wanting to lift the front up. Right. This is where being in the know can save you many hours of grief, and that's going to cost me some grief. Yeah, my hands are clean, but oh well, just wind it in out of the way. I'll have to oh jeez, I'll have to clean that piece. That's a good hour's job, disassembling. Look at that. Now years ago I would have just got one of my spare tapes out of, well not, I would have just got a brand new tape out of stock, used the case and serviced this cassette itself and you know, flattened this out as best I can, cleaned it, got the grease off it, and then very carefully run it through a video recorder, which doesn't really matter. I wasn't worried about the heads because there's grease on this off the mech, so it's got to be cleaned. But you put it in a new case, flatten it out as best you can, and recover everything you could. And when it got to that point, if it was something important, you would try and bring as much of it back as possible. If not, you just splice that bit out. But this is looks like a trip to France and Beachy Head, so oh dear. Right, let's see if the head suffered anything. There's grease on the head here, yep, which means the tape has got wrapped and it's lifted grease from here and stuck it on the head. Yeah, it's on the surface of the head. Now then, are the actual heads still alright? Well, that's amazing. They look reasonable. Let's use the modern day magnifying glass. Not touching the surface, because your finger grease can actually etch into it. Oh, I really do absolutely hate these stupid touch screen pieces of... All I wanted to do was make the picture bigger and it went, let's do it again. Focus, you toadstool. Ah. Shut up. Get some light on the subject. That's what I want to see. There are some marks on the head. There's a mark, you can't see it on there, but there's it's not a blemish, it looks like bits of tape. Oh wow. If I manage to do any video editing on this, and I'm poop at it, I haven't really got the software, I will add that picture of the drum surface with little bits of tape stuck to it. Well, it's not tape, it's the the magnetic surface, the oxide. Oh, I remembered. Right, we'll have some light on that so I can see the surface of the actual head. And let's have a look at what I've just got. Leading to the head, don't look like a chip. Might be though. Let's have a look at the other one. Oh, trust it, it's that way. Yeah, they are actually two. There's the mark. Anyway, what we got there? That head actually looks better. The other one looks kind of damaged. I'm going to have to get some sort of proper magnifying glass on it. Where's me maggoting fire. It's kind of a moot point if the head is scooped. There. Wondered where that would have gone. Metal underneath, so it's alright. I hope you're not getting blinded too much by my bald stone. Do you like my really state-of-the-art magnifying system? Don't think I've got one of those heads. That looks damaged. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at a silly angle. Light. Light, 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 light. Torch. Good grief. Upside down and back to front. Oh, I'll roll on getting a bench. I'll probably be dead by the time I get one. No, that head is intact. And lo and behold, both coils are okay on that. The gap is almost negligible, which is perfect. It's got some crud on it, but that one's okay. Well, physically anyway. Hopefully it'll electrically be okay. Better put that back together before I lose it all, and then next time I want it I'm wondering where the heck it is. Look after your tools, they'll look after you. Right. So, that's alright. Interesting head motor. I'd forgotten they'd done that on the later versions. So all you people flying your little quadcopters, they're not drones, they are quadcopters. A drone is something you set going with a bomb on it and it kills people. That's why people are frightened of them. That's what your newspapers have done for you. Anyway, it's not about that. This is about video recorders. Both take up idlers alright. Audio pickup and sync pickup looks great. Yeah, pinch roller's okay. Capston's okay. I was pointing at that and saying pinch roller. Yeah, okay. I know that's a capston, I know that's a pinch roller. I'm just confused. That's alright. So, wondering now what's caused this. Is it the belt here? There is some evidence of yellowing on it, on the idler wheel. There, as you can see. Now, you used to get that really badly when people smoked, but yes, this gent does, but not much at all. not what you used to get. I mean, they used to come in absolutely yellow and thick with tar.